Hey guys, and welcome back to the episode of The Terror Zone. Today will be a short video because we are only looking into a very popular classic story, the Swiss Robertson family. This is a live-action Disney movie that they made. They made two versions in particular, one that's in black and white, and one that's in color. You're not going to watch any of these yourself. But basically, I'll give you a brief story about what the book, and the stories are all about. Of course, I'm going to take a look at the Braille book and look at the actual tellings and tell you what the comparisons are. But anyway, here's the story. Swiss Robertson family is a story of this family from Switzerland named the Robinsons, who are on a trip somewhere, but they get shipwrecked in a storm where they wash up where they lost most of their crew, and they wash up on an island where they make most of the situation and build a tree house, have a few animals around the area, and have fun while doing so. Throughout the whole book, you just see their growth and their stature throughout the whole book, seeing how they live their lives. And eventually at the end, they decide to live there themselves. So that is the Swiss Robertson family from there. They are a very rich family in the books, in particular according to the thing. First, we're going to take a look at a few differences. One is the black and white version and the color version, which are both very similar to the original. There's only one difference in each book, which I'll touch on today. Number 1, the fourth son. In the color movie, there is only 3 sons that the Robinson family has. But in the book, they have 4. The oldest son is Fritz, and the other 2 are all F names in particular. But he has 4 sons in the original book. In the color movie, however, he only has 3. In the black and white one, he has 4. So it kind of differs. I think the reason why they only had 3 in this one in particular was because there was too many. And also they wanted to keep one younger son to the original. That way he would hang out with the animals and such. Number 2, dogs. Unlike the 2 movies that we were mentioning, they didn't have any dogs in the movie. But in the books, they owned 2 dogs in particular that were in the book. They owned themselves as a family, as together, and they brought them on a trip. In this particular instance, they brought them on the trip together. But I think there's one reason why they didn't put them in there. Because towards the middle of the book, they die. Yeah. Their dogs were very helpful at setting up everything in the treehouse and stuff. But they die at some point while achieving other things. So in the end, the dogs don't really last long. Number 3. Animals in the treehouse. Now, of course, the one thing we know about the Robertson family is their treehouse and the animals that they ride on, like the ostriches and many other animals as well. This differs from many different versions of the book and the movie, but unfortunately, we have to say that there's actually no elephants and no jungle animals in this movie in particular. They're just horses and pretty much the usual animals you see in islands. So they're not like jungle animals in particular. I think it's just for excitement. But in the books, it's just regular animals like deers and stuff like that. Horses and such things like that. So it's nothing too crazy. But in the movie, they have elephants, ostriches, and many other things like that. The treehouse is a very interesting one to look into. So in each of the chapters of the books, they show you the involvement of the treehouse itself and what differs. Pretty much from the movie is very accurate of what they do later on. But for the most part, it's nothing too different. But the only difference is that in each chapter, there's different details of the treehouse and how the building structure works. And how each chapter changes over time. And the last thing we'll talk about today is the culture. In the books, they never mention anything about their culture at all, where they came from, at all. But in the movie, they decided to touch on those things, like the Swiss Robertson family dance, like in the records. Unfortunately, there was never made into the books, so Disney made it up themselves to feature their culture within the movie, which is probably the best bet for them, because I think it was really cool to see some of their culture presented in there. You don't get to see much of what really is about their life before the island. So you get to see more of what that's supposed to entail. And that is all the differences between the book and the movie. It's all very similar, just minor changes. How'd you like it? Is there some things we have missed? Tell in the comments below. I love this book in particular. I'm so glad to actually talk about it today with you guys. Because Swiss Robertson Family is my first book I ever read, as opposed to a Disney movie. So I think it's really cool. I got to read the book first before I even got to watch the movie. It's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you next time on The Terror Zone.